Hello, this is Glenda, and today I'm making a rose soap. I'm starting with the embed. I have here some red soap dough, which I am shaping into like a cylinder, and then I'm going to make one of the edges like smaller so that it creates a teardrop shape. And to do that, I'm pressing it against the counter, and then I'm also pressing with my fingers. Where the point is, I'm also going to create an indentation so that it looks like when the two petals of the rose are coming together. And I'm using just a sculpting tool to do that. Once I'm happy with how that looks, I'll move on to the green. I'm just adding some green on the sides of the rose button, and then I'm going to add the stem. Initially, I started with this light green color, but I wasn't convinced on how it looked. So later, everything that I did with this green, I repeated it with a darker green, which is what you will see next. And because in the process of adding the stem and everything else, I felt that I had pressed too much onto the rose button, I did have to redo the opening on top with the tool, and that's what you see me doing here. After making the embed, I kept it inside a plastic bag sealed so that it wouldn't become too hard and so that it wouldn't cure. Next, I'm going to make the soap, and I'm going to make it in my tall and skinny mold, but I'm only going to make like 4 bars of it. So I'm using this scraper as a divider, and it happens to be the same width as the mold, and I'm going to try it to see if it works as a divider. It is not a very tight fit, so hopefully it will work. I'm adding a little bit of EDT8 and also some vanilla stabilizer because last time I used a rose fragrance, it turned the soap a little bit tan, and I wanted to avoid that. And then I did a quick blending with the stick blender only to bring it to emulsion because the fragrance will accelerate. It's a rose fragrance, so I'm gonna have to move quick with it. At the last minute, I decided to add some titanium dioxide, and to do that, I had to mix it prior with oils because it doesn't mix very well by itself because it creates speckles otherwise. So I'm adding it now to the soap batter. As you can see, the soap batter has come to like a light trace by now. So I'm trying to just distribute it as best as I can. The fragrance that I will be using will be a blend of rose, formerly known as Rose Fragrance Formulator from Wholesale Supplies Plus. I didn't have a whole lot of it, so I had to mix it with Victorian Rose, also from Crafter's Choice. Personally, I wasn't a fan of Victorian Rose because I think it smells like soap. And yes, I know what you mean. It is soap. But it reminds me of the classic Palmolive rose soap. So I'm getting more of a clean scent than a floral or rose scent. So I'm not too crazy about it, but I think other people may like it, hopefully. And I'm putting all of my leftovers into these heart molds so that I will have some small soaps for Valentine's. And as you can see on the right, I'm having some leakage. However, because the fragrance accelerates the soap butter, it doesn't go too far because it's becoming very thick. The fragrance also separated slightly, which means that some of the fragrance oil pooled on top, like little drops. However, it was reabsorbed back. I also noticed some yellow dots on the bars, and I think it was also the fragrance oil. I was happy with how it turned out though, and hopefully you like it too. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.